Alrighty, folks, it is time for round one of Grand Prix Thraben, the inaugural Revolution Grand Prix for the Innistrad Witching Hour and Valir the Banished Isle rotation season. Now, I'm going to try and make this intro rather brief because I've kept my opponent waiting for a little bit already, but as always, if you want to check out the format for yourself, there's a bunch of links in the description below to check out Revolution, learn about the format, and I would highly recommend you give the format a try. There's a link down in the description to a video by Time Spiraled over on the Custom Cardboard channel explaining what Revolution is and how you can get involved. And there is a link to the Revolution Discord server, which is the Custom Magic Discord server. So, round one, we are up against Provocative, who we have not had a round one against in quite some time, but whereas we used to be queuing up against Provocative on Mono Green Stompy, this time they are on Naya Midrange, specifically Naya Revolt at the Palace. This is a mid-range deck trying to cap out at really powerful 3-drops for Revolt at the Palace and Foreign Encounter to slip them into play repeatedly. Both of these cards function similarly. They look at the top 6 cards of the library, put a creature with mana value 3 or less into play. Foreign Encounter does so while putting a +1/+1 counter on that creature and cycling for 1 hybrid red-green mana otherwise. Revolt of the Palace does so for 5 mana, but gets to do so with non-land permanents. It's just going to be creatures in most cases, but gets to get non-land permanents instead of just creatures. It does so on the first and second turn it's in play. Third turn it gives double strike, and then it repeats the process over and over again thanks to the time loop ability. Otherwise, the only non-3-drops, the only lower curve creatures are mana dorks. We've got Huskforger Acolyte as the 1 mana dork, Dark Thicket Howler as a new 2 mana dork. At 3, it is some old faces, Fabricated Anomaly, Ironback Tyke, and Rosenclad and Guilt is getting to see a bit more play, as well as another newcomer in Hope's Trail Ranger. Outside of Revolt at the Palace, this is also curving out to Penwrath Dispatcher as the big creature finisher. 4 mana 4/4 haste. When it attacks, counts up how many attacking creatures you have. You can choose to either search your library for a card with mana value X or less, or put a creature card with mana value X or less from your hand into play, tapped and attacking. X is determined by the number of attacking creatures. Otherwise, it's really simple. Just 6 removal spells split between 3 of the new Strangle we just got from Valir the Banished Isle, or 3 Sanctum of Repression, which is a hit off of Revolt at the Palace. We'll talk about the sideboard when we get into Game 2, but for now, let's dive into Game 1. Alrighty. We did lose the die roll, so opponent's going to get to go on the play. They're keeping 7. We are going to have to mulligan a 1-lander here. Double Strangle would be really nice, but this is not the basic we want for a Double Strangle start. Alright, 3 lands is a little more workable. Thought Scour, Strangle, Stargazing, Unravel Thoughts. We could just go get rid of Thought Scour. I'm kind of down for that. Yeah, Stargazing I think I like a little bit more than Thought Scour in the hand. We can lead on Rousing Path, Strangle if they lead on Huskforger, and just go from there. That is Verdant Sanctum Shocked in. There's our Strangle target. Let's untap and draw a Temple of Origins. Well, we'll go on a Rousing Path here and Strangle the Huskforger. And we'll pass. I could have thought about trying to play the Temple instead of the Rousing Path here. So we could have this to cycle now that we have 4 lands. But I'm thinking I might just pitch the Temple to Stargazing anyways. They go Primal Fissure onto and do nothing else. We untap, we draw a Dream Physician. I'm game to put that into play. I don't think they have any way to target this outside of Strangle. Sanctum of Repression, but that's 3 mana to remove it. Rosen doesn't target things. Ironback Tyke doesn't target things. Yeah, they have no way to target this outside of their removal spells, and their removal spells do not trade favorably mana-wise. So I'm good to Primal Fisher here. And let's go ahead, tap sack. View library. Go find an island. And Dream Physician. And their removal is all sorcery speed as well, which is really nice. So they're going to crack Primal Fisher here at end step. They're going to get a mountain. They might be cycling here. Nope. No cycling a foreign encounter. They get another Primal Fisher. They're going to crack it immediately. Find a forest. 3 mana for a Fabricated Anomaly. Alrighty. So that is going to let them get some real dig going. But we can crack in with Dream Physician here. We untap, we draw another Dream Physician. We could just run out second Dream Physician and Stargazing here and start sculpting our hand. I think I like getting Temple of Origins into play and just holding up Unravel Thoughts, because that's going to be 3 cards in hand. They play a land drop, they play a spell, they're at 3 cards in hand. We won't get to do 2 modes. It's a little awkward. Maybe we lead on Stargazing. I think actually I want to lead on swinging in with Dream Physician. Just rumble in. All right, no blocks. Take 3. Yeah, maybe it is Stargazing plus Dream Physician. Just try and get cards out of my hand so Unravel Thoughts is live later. Double mode. Unravel Thoughts is live later, rather. Yeah, let's Stargazing. Top card. Glimmervale Lake. I mean, this will be untapped next turn if we... Or this will be untapped if we, like, discard Temple of Origins, play Frostfire Geysers. That's tempting. We can copy Dream Physician. Next turn we swing 6, take them to 9, and then copy Dream Physician, take them to 0 if they don't leave up any blockers. I think we want to do a little bit more than that. That is a full turn commitment to have Glimmervale Lake online. So ship that to the bottom, draw a card. Collected Thoughts is pretty good. I think with Collected Thoughts, now I'm second guessing if I actually want to discard something. Because I kind of want to hold on to next land drop now. I'm just going to send Stargazing to the bin. Temple of Origins. Send annotation to blue-red. Pay 2. Run out second Dream Physician. They're going to loot something away here. They pitch a Verdant Sanctum. That's a good sign to me. It tells me they might be flooding out a little bit. Did not expect my drink to be so noisy. That is a Heart of the Glade. Yeah, they have 2 different basics in play, so all of their check lands are going to come in untapped now. They loot away a Primal Fisher. That is 2 lands pitched to a puzzle box. They, I believe, are also on 23 lands like we are. So they're definitely flooding out a bit harder. That is a Penwrath Dispatcher. Can't counter that. 4 toughness is pretty good against us. For the same reason that 4 toughness is really good for us. So they swing in. Okay, they're going to put a counter on the Fabricated Anomaly. Are they going to search or cheat something into play? It looks like they're searching. You're going to get Dark Thicket Howler here. All right, well, I'll block the Fabricated Anomaly and take 4. We untap. We draw an island. I think here I'm going to unravel thoughts at their start of combat. And I'm going to look at maybe doing, like, puzzle box, like bounce puzzle box, tap their things, or like tap their things and draw a card maybe. Frostfire Geysers as land for turn. Swing 6. So they got us down to 8 here because they can burn the 3 cards in graveyard to Fabricated Anomaly. If it comes to it, I may be inclined towards letting them swing in if they're not doing anything else here. If they just go right to combat, I might just let them swing. They're going to Puzzle Box. They pitch a Forest. Wow, a lot of lands. Gonna have my lands selected and at the ready. Another land drop. They are at Revolt at the Palace mana. But what are they looking to do? If they go right to combat, I will let them. All right, they do choose to buff the Fabricated Anomaly here. They're going to slip Dark Thicket Prowler, Dark Thicket Howler into play. So that's going to be 10 damage. The one thing is, they know I have some interesting stuff in hand because I chose to bin the Stargazing. Three mana for an Ironback Tyke. I'm going to say K to that. So this is going to put a 3rd card back in their hand. They go find another Plains. They're going to pass here. So I can Unravel Thoughts, draw a card. Draw a card, bounce the Ironback Tyke. Bounce plus draw so that way I can get that out of play. That's a burn it all down. Not quite what I need. If I can spin into... You'll draw a Temple of Origins. So here's what I'm going to do. Four mana, Collected Thoughts. If I spin into Lunar Awe, they are dead. Spin to win. There's no Lunar Awe. Damn. All right. Well, the next best thing here is I can go Unravel Thoughts. Man, this is a lot worse now. This is like infinitely worse now that I lost this spin. It's playing to the outs, but did not quite find it. So Strangle lets me pick off the Dark Thicket Howler. I can cast Unravel Thoughts, bounce Anomaly, draw a card. Strangle the Dark Thicket Howler. And then I just need to think about how I'm attacking if I'm attacking. Yeah, I think it's going to be card to hand is Strangle. Card going on the stack is Unravel Thoughts. Move Rest to the bottom. Bounce plus draw again. Bounce the Anomaly, and I draw Psionic Sage. Okay, so thinking for a moment. If I swing in with just one Dream Physician here, they, on their next turn, get to go Puzzle Box, Loot, cast Anomaly, get back Puzzle Box, Loot, Penwrath Dispatcher. So the way that I lose from here is they need to have two things that can attack and something that can remove a Dream Physician. So they would need Land Drop, Strangle, Pay for Ward, second Penwrath Dispatcher. That is how I lose here. If I swing in with one. If I don't swing in at all, I don't think I die here. I think that means I'm going to play things safe. I'm going to Strangle the Dark Thicket Howler. And I'm just going to hang out on defense, I think. I've got Double Strangle. I've got Unravel Thoughts, Stargazing, Collected Thoughts in the bin. I've got the Psionic Sage. I think it is time for me to hang back for a moment. Really needed to spin into that Lunar Awe there. They're going to Puzzle Box, pitch another land. Wow. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus they hit a land for turn. Yeah, they had the planes that they found. That is the second Penwrath Dispatcher. Good lord. So now they get to swing out with both. They get to slip 2 drops into play. No, they're searching for something. They're going to get a Dark Thicket Howler. Yes, they did have the second Dispatcher. With second trigger, put a Howler into play. If I double block one of the Dispatchers, I die, so I need to block like this. Lose a Dream Physician, take 4. I did make the correct call not swinging in, though. This was a way to kill me. I untap. I draw. Primal Fisher's not going to quite do it. Yeah, I think they got me. That spin to win was... I feel like that spin to win was my out. That was the correct line there. Maybe it was correct to just Unravel Thoughts, tap down their board so they couldn't swing in for the turn. But I don't know. I could Psionic Sage here, just eat the Stargazing, try and dig for something. But I don't really have cheap removal that deals with 4 toughness creatures right now. And if I can't pick off one of these Dispatchers, where am I at? Next turn, they swing in with both Dispatchers, slip literally anything into play, and I'm dead. Alrighty. Let's go to game 2. So let's talk about their sideboard real quick. For my opponent's part, their sideboard is a bit simple in terms of this particular matchup. They've got 2 copies of Melon Defense Attorney, which seems pretty good here. Choosing blue as their color of choice for Melon is pretty easy. Blue is on 2 of the 3 pledges they could choose. And blue allows them to slip through all of my blockers. But the nice thing about Melon is that if their only way to get blue or red things is Melon, then they have to make the choice between blue or red when they activate Melon, because when they make the pledge, rather. Because without a red permanent in play, their pledge cannot be blue and red off of Melon, because blue and red are enemy colors. Melon is like perfectly situated to not be able to pick red and blue. The only pledge that Melon has access to that is in red is the only one they have that he has that is not in blue. So blue lets him swing through my blockers. Red lets him dodge my burn. But I think it's probably just going to be choosing blue most of the time, because red is going to be something they can have in play. So there's 2 copies of Melon I imagine will come in. 4th copy of Sanctum of Repression, 4th copy of Strangle. I don't think the Strangle is going to come in. In fact, I think they might go down on the Strangles. They might go up on the Sanctums, but I don't know. There's also Archival Storage, which is cards in graveyards lose all abilities. Fortunately, there is nothing in my graveyard that cares about abilities. It is only stuff in play that cares about cards in my graveyard. Astral Displacer could maybe matter. Pick Your Poison probably doesn't matter. They might want to bring this in just to shut down Shigani Manor Burns, but I don't think that's a very winning line for them. So let's talk about our sideboard now. That is going to be most likely... Dormant Monstrosity is just a little slow. Delias is probably not where we want to be. We could take Golden Bloom of the Silenced, because if they resolve a Revolt of the Palace, we are just done for. Because they can just bury us in value over time. I think Golden Bloom looks really nice. I think Frag looks really good. 4 toughness is something they have a lot of. I think Burn It All Down is a little awkward. They do have a lot of 3 toughness things. They do have a lot that dies to Burn It All Down. Actually, not really. Like Dark Thicket Howler, Fabricated Anomaly, Ironback Tyke, Hope's Trail Ranger, Rosen, like these all outscale pretty quickly. Hope's Trail Ranger is the only thing that doesn't get out of range of Strangle or Burn It All Down after the first +1/+1 counter. But if they spin into Ranger off of forward encounter, that's going to be a 2/3 that levels up into a 3/4. So yeah, we really don't have a lot of room for Burn It All Down or Strangle to do work. So we kind of just need to lean on the tempo angle more. Flutter is not going to be very good against them. Shuffling their graveyard in the face of a Fabricated Anomaly is a losing proposition. We could maybe bring in Delias, but again, their creatures are going to be 4 toughness pretty often, so Delias being like a 2/1 flash creature is not going to matter too much, and Delias is going to be pretty blockable in this matchup. So I think it's going to be down the Burn It All Downs and Strangles, up on Frag and Golden Bloom of the Silenced. Let's rock. Alrighty, there's another 4-lander. Or sorry, this is our first 4-lander. Rousing Path, Frostfire Geysers, Double Temple, Thought Scour, Lunar Awe, Collected Thoughts. Yeah, that's going to be pretty decently workable. We're going to keep 7. I think I'm going to lead on the Rousing Path. So Rousing Path here and pass, and we can just Thought Scour ourselves at the end step. Urban Jungle tapped. So we will mill Collected Thoughts and Mountain. Draw another Thought Scour. We'll untap and draw. Find a Psionic Sage is really nice. Temple of Origins. Annotation to blue-red. Would love to have a Shigani Manor Burns here, but unfortunately, just not where the draw is at. So we'll pass. We can hold up Thought Scour. There's maybe an argument for going for Thought Scour here, just on the off chance we find, on the off chance we spin into a Stargazing, but I think I prefer just doing this Thought Scour here at their end step. Mill Glimmervale Lake, and the last Collected Thoughts. Wow. And find another Thought Scour. All right, we're just doing it now. We're going to be at Threshold really quickly. Unravel Thoughts, Unravel Thoughts. My goodness. Dream Physician. Let's untap and draw. We find Island. Thank God this isn't terrors. Yeah, our terrors would be at cheapest cost because that's 7 instants and sorceries in the graveyard now. Man, terrors is the most prevalent deck in the field. It's really surprising. So I'm kind of torn between running out Dream Physician here and just playing Geysers tapped, or Temple plus just hold up Lunar Awe. I like either way. I'm playing a 2-drop here, not a 3-drop, but I think it's gonna be Temple either way because this is just tapped after this turn. Frostfire Geysers can be untapped if we play the island. Yeah, so let's get Temple in play on blue-red. I think I want to hold up the Lunar Awe, because if they get a Fabricated Anomaly here, if they get any 3-drop, really, I would love to just bolt it down. Though if they have 4 in Encounter, it's going to be really awkward that I'm holding up Lunar Awe. Yeah, if it's 4 in Encounter, I'm going to regret holding up Lunar Awe. I think I just need to go for the Dream Physician. Get it in play while I can. They go get a Plains off of Primal Fissure. What you got for me? Forest, all of their checks are now untapped. For an encounter, feeling validated about the Lunar Awe. Or sorry, rather feeling validated that I didn't hold up Lunar Awe. The one thing this would be able to check... Oh god, Rosen. Oh god, Rosen. Yeah, this card is rough, to say the least. Yeah, so that's 4/4 Rosen. Can't attack into that. We untap. We draw. That's another Psionic Sage. Well, we can't target this with removal, because it has Ward 1. It is pretty easy for them to cast 3-drop into 3-drop next turn, so Rosen's going to be presumably swinging in for 6. I think it's going to be Island, Psionic Sage, exile up to 1 target instant or sorcery from our graveyard. We mill Lunar Awe, Frostfire Geysers, and we draw a Primal Fissure. Well, that's a little awkward. We pass. If Rosen's a 6/6 when it swings in, I will double block. 3 mana for Ironback Tyke. So that's Rosen up to 5/5. Next spell they cast this turn costs 2 less. They find a mountain. That tells me this is Fabricated Anomaly follow-up. Primal Fissure tapped. Never mind. Do they offer the double? Do they offer the trade? They're not offering the trade. Wow. That's huge. So I untap. I draw Shigani Manor Burns. Oh, that's really tempting. So I swing in with Psionic Sage. I eat Lunar Awe. Lunar Awe target Rosen. Pay 2 for Ward. Second Lunar Awe kills the Rosen. Don't love it. But I think that's going to be the play. Yeah, I think that's just going to be the line we take. So I'm going to pay blue and a red for Lunar Awe, target Rosen, paying Ward. So Rosen loses all abilities. Combat. Kill Rosen. They're just going to take the 4. We will play Primal Fissure tapped and pass. Next turn, we can go Shigani Manor Burns plus Psionic Sage. And we can use the Psionic Sage in play to tap down their blockers with Unravel Thoughts. Now, we're not out of the woods just yet. If this is Revolt of the Palace, we're in a very sticky spot. That's Revolt of the Palace. Well, here's the good news. Our next turn gets to be swinging with Psionic Sage, tap down your blockers, bounce Revolt of the Palace, hit you for 7. Wow, they hit a Sanctum of Repression. Holy cow. That is a crazy hit here. Yeah, so that's Psionic Sage out of play, and we no longer have a check to Revolt of the Palace. That is a really, really good hit. The nice thing is that Sanctum of Repression being able to do anything here is predicated on them losing their board presence. So we're not buried by any means, but this is awkward. We untap. We're going to Primal Fissure on upkeep. Go get a mountain. Go get our last mountain. And draw Frostfire Geysers number 2. Question now becomes, what are we doing with the rest of our turn? I think it is Psionic Sage, Thought Scour, and then let that guide us from there. Sage number 2. Eat a Thought Scour. Put that on there. We mill. Frostfire Geysers overrule will. Draw a card. Find the Unravel Thoughts for hand. I'm not going to be holding that up, though. Swing 3, take you to 13. Main 2. Frostfire Geysers. Shigani Manor Burns. Counters. Oh, wow. New menu. Counters 1. Make a treasure. And pass. So yeah, Revolt of the Palace is now going to start doing its thing. But the nice thing is I can now hold up Unravel Thoughts to just be like, all right, stun your board. Tap everything down, you don't get to swing. So looking at the top 6, if they prioritize board presence, I do have 10 damage right now. Because I've got 7 on board, Dream Physician, Psionic Sage, plus Lunar Awe getting cast off of Psionic Sage from the bin. I could also just go for Thought Scour again if I just want to kind of keep our advantage up. I also have the Collected Thoughts, so... Man, this is nerve-wracking. Not sure if I'll discard anything to Shigani Manor Burns. I'm going to let my draw step really influence that. They do hit another Ironback Tyke. So that is go find another land. They get a Plains. Man, the Revolt of the Palace into Sanctum is so good there. So they play Heart of the Glade. We know they have another Plains in hand. We know they have an Ironback Tyke in hand. They're paying 4 for a Penwrath Dispatcher here. Okay. What is up with Penwrath Dispatcher here? I'm assuming this is setting up for Revolt of the Palace, because there's no way that the plan here is to just Dispatcher swing into the Psionic Sage. Okay, they're just hanging out. We untap. We draw an Overrule Will. It's a little late. I might be pitching that to Shigani Manor Burns. Gonna tick up by 1. Do I pitch the Frostfire Geysers or do I pitch the Overrule Will? I think it's the guy. I think it's the Will. I think it's the counterspell here. Because what I can do is I can swing in Psionic Sage, Lunar Awe the Ironback Tyke, force the double block. If I find another Lunar Awe, I can kill the Dark Thicket Howler after blockers are declared. Or if I just spin into a frag, I get to kill the Dispatcher that way. Yeah, I'm going to pitch the Overrule Will. So we flip Shigani Manor Burns, Temple of Origins. Man, I kind of really want that Shigani Manor Burns. But I kind of don't want to leave Collected Thoughts plus Unravel Thoughts down. I think it's going to be lead on Collected Thoughts here, because that's going to inform my next turn. That's going to inform the rest of my turn. Sorry, I'm going to tuck these under Shigani Manor Burns for the moment. Just clear the stack up. Top 6. That is a frag. So now we might be in the clear to just not hold up Unravel Thoughts. We frag the Penwrath Dispatcher, swing Psionic Sage, frag again the Ironback Tyke, swinging 7, and they can threaten to swing 4 at us with Dark Thicket Howler. They can threaten to swing 8 if they have another Penwrath Dispatcher. Actually, no, they can play the second Ironback Tyke and animate it up to be a 7/7 and make the Howler a 3/3 double striker, but that's not really going to matter. And then we're going to have lethal with Unravel Thoughts in hand. That's also the last Psionic Sage, so it's tempting to kind of take that, but I think I might want the Stargazing. No, I'm going to take the Psionic Sage and put it into hand. Take frag the Dispatcher, move the rest to the bottom. Frostfire Geysers. That's going to go to exile. I could just play out the second Psionic Sage, but I'm going to run out the Shigani Manor Burns here. Combat. Swing. Trigger. You're going to frag the Ironback Tyke. Yeah, they take the 7 from 13 down to 6. Main 2. 1, 2. Unattach Shigani Manor Burns. Make another treasure. Tick this up by 1. And pass. It's going to be very hard for them to just sort of rush us down here. This is Dark Thicket Howler's going to have double strike, but they don't get anything into play off of Revolt of the Palace. They could rush another Penwrath Dispatcher into play, which would punish us for using the Psionic Sage on frag instead of Lunar Awe, except we have Unravel Thoughts in hand. So I think we've cleaned it up. They say, yeah, GG. Whew. All right. We're going into game 3. On the draw, does anything change here? It might be worth it to have the Strangles back, just so that way I can pick off those ramp creatures on the early turns. Maybe we go down some of our cantrips, go down like 1 or 2 Stargazings. What else do we go down a copy of? Maybe like down 2 Stargazings, down 1 Thought Scour. And rock it like that. Presumably opponent's going to be on the play. Shake out the nerves. Pushed it to a game 3. It's not over yet. Yep, they are going to take the play here. Temple of Origins, Primal Fisher, 2-lander, but we've got a whole bunch of interaction I'm going to keep. Because we can go either Strangle on 1 or hold up Thought Scour. They keep 6 planes, so we do not need to worry about holding up Strangle. We untap, we draw, Unravel Thoughts, Temple of Origins, set annotation to blue-red, and pass. Wow, nothing on the first 2 turns. We are going to Thought Scour ourselves, mill Island, Primal Fisher. Not a great sign when we are on a 2-lander. We find the Overrule Will, though, so when they curve out on 3, we have something to check their 3-drop. We untap, we draw frag number 2. Lots of interaction, just not a whole lot to do with it. Interesting. I wonder if they are stuck on 2 lands as well. Yeah, I'm gonna just react to this. Go find Island. I think I am going to mill myself. No, I'm gonna say that's okay. I'm gonna Lunar all this. Yeah. Untap. Draw a Glimmervale Lake. Well, that is going to be tapped, but that is a 3rd land drop. They did miss a land drop, so yeah. This was Battle of the 2-landers, but we have gotten out of it. Choosing not to mill ourselves. So our next 2 draws are also going to be things we spun past. Yeah, that is going to get countered. Mill myself. So I would have milled Mountain and Overrule Will either way, and I also mill a frag here. So I got their 3rd land. I got them from getting a 4th land. I have Unravel Thoughts available now. Untap, draw. Island is nice. Well, let's just keep passing. I will let smaller things through. Fabricated Anomaly. Response to enter trigger. No puzzle box for you. That is the joy of this deck. I can just play hard control. That is our 2nd red source. Frostfire Geysers, untapped. And here we stand. And now, if they go for another 3-drop, we can counter draw. Rosenclad and Guilt. Counter plus draw. There's the Psionic Sage as well. Oh, and they had the 4th land. No. Oh, that's brutal. So they could have denied the draw there. We untap. We draw another Lunar Awe. I mean, we are risking going shields down here, but I think we do kind of just need to. We need to get something rolling here. Psionic Sage. Let's eat a Thought Scour. Mill Golden Bloom, Collected Thoughts. Draw and Unravel Thoughts. Miss the land drop here, but we have so much removal. That's land number 5. Okay, they're getting out of their mana hole here. Wow, Revolt of the Palace is a hell of a top end here. Yep. The one turn I put shields down, but I did not have this Unravel Thoughts beforehand, so... They're going to get a Fabricated Anomaly, so they can start digging out of this. There is their Puzzle Box token. They pass. All right, we'll untap and draw Island. I'm thinking about Psionic Sage, Lunar Awe, their face. Actually, hold on. Glimmervale Lake animates for 3. Swing for 8. I don't have a 1-mana spell to grab out of my graveyard. Man, if I had another counter spell, I would love to do Unravel Thoughts, bounce this. It'd be so rude. I mean, it's real tempting to do Glimmervale Lake here. I think we're going to be a little patient, though. You're going to Strangle the Fabricated Anomaly. Play Island. And we have Unravel Thoughts plus Lunar Awe up. Hit you for 7. And next turn we'll have Unravel Thoughts available to our Psionic Sage. And their one removal spell that deals with Psionic Sage requires them to have a creature in play. Oh, did they whiff? That's a youch. Not what they needed here. I mean, hey, we spun to win in game 1 and did not hit it, so... I know that feeling. Probably the game, but let's see. 3 mana. Fabricated Anomaly. I'm going to say K. Make a new puzzle box. 2 mana. Sanctum of Repression. Yep. I will Lunar Awe your Fabricated Anomaly so your Sanctum has no targets. They say, yeah, GG. Oh, boy. That is the power of blue-red getting to just pivot to pure control. We have so much interaction, so much removal. And yeah, they are left empty board with Revolt going to give their creatures double strike. Whew. That is the power of being in blue-red. My goodness. What a first match of the tournament. Alrighty. Well played, too provocative. Definitely put us in a bind in some of those games. Definitely had to navigate some awkward spots, but That is the nature of Naya. That they're just gonna beat you down and try and put you in an awkward bind one way or another. And we were just kind of able to weave out of it game 2. Couldn't quite get out of it game 1, and then we got to create the bind in game 3. All worked out according to plan. Let's see if things keep going our way in the future rounds. As always, if you're interested in checking out Rev, once again, there is a bunch of resources for you in the description below. Highly recommend you check out the Discord server, and I recommend you check out Time Spiral's video from the custom cardboard channel. It will be at the top of the description. It really is just such a great resource to help you get into the format. Until next time, folks, I'll see you all in the Revolution chat. Bye-bye.